I'm Ina Fried with CNET News. I'm here with Steve Ballmer, the CEO of Microsoft, who last night gave his speech at the Consumer Electronics Show here in Las Vegas. Steve, obviously Microsoft didn't necessarily get everything it might have hoped for in terms of the critical response for Vista. What are you guys planning to do differently with Windows 7?
Well, I think we made some choices in Vista to improve security at the kind of expense, if you will, of compatibility. With Windows 7, we're able to build compatibly off of Vista and really sort of just tune, if you will, the user interface, the performance, and at the end of the day, it'll be what the users think of the product they're building. We'll start getting beta feedback this week.
How hard are you pushing the team to get Windows 7 out this year?
I'm not pushing the team hard. The team is pushing itself. They set some goals and objectives, and of course we'll ship the product when it's, as I said last night, both right and ready. And when we know when that is, we'll share that.
One of the biggest parts of the PC business that's really taken off amid a obviously challenging time overall is the netbook segment. What has that meant for Microsoft, both in terms of a technology but also from a business standpoint? How does that impact you?
Well, we've done very well on netbooks. When they first came out, I'm not sure if people knew whether they were PCs or something else, and I think everybody kind of understands now that a netbook is a small form factor, low cost personal computer, and we're doing very well with Windows XP, which fits. Vista does not fit, and we're working hard to make sure Windows 7 fits very well on the netbooks. Now, from a business perspective, lower cost machine means a little less revenue per unit to Microsoft, but I think gives us an opportunity to see expansion of the overall PC market.
Obviously, everything that you're talking about here at CES comes against the backdrop of a very challenging economy. What does that economy mean to Microsoft and its plans?
Well, I think there's two ways to take a look at it. First, what's going to happen to, let's call it revenue in our industry. Revenue will be lower in aggregate in our industry than it would have been. And that will, in fact, Microsoft, Cisco, you name the company, Intel, will all be affected by that. With that said, the pace of innovation in our business will not change. The opportunity there won't change. And so the key is, how do we right size a little bit as an industry, that means different things, different companies, to adjust to the fact that revenues will be lower, and yet at the same time keep a strong push on the R&D that's going to power the future. And each company will discuss its plans. We're kind of in a quiet period, so I don't have much to say about that.
Turning to search, that's obviously a key area for Microsoft. You announced a couple partnership deals that'll get you some more distribution, but clearly there aren't enough distribution deals out there to make the kind of headway you guys need to make against Google. What else does Microsoft need to really be a serious competitor to Google?
Just keep working. I mean, look, this is not something that changes overnight. Everybody wants us to snap our fingers. We have a good competitor, and yet at the same time, we see real opportunities to improve the search experience, to differentiate, but it's not going to happen overnight. We're going to have to keep working and working, innovating, product-wise, marketing, branding, distribution, and we're going to have to be patient about it. I like our new release. We'll make, we're making 2 releases a year. We continue to attract great talent, which lets us do interesting things. Our cashback program has some early promise in terms of what I call business model differentiation versus Google, but we'll continue to work.
Fair to say 4 years in, though, you would have hoped you'd made more progress than you guys have made so far in share?
Maybe. I'm not sure that would have been anything other than naive, because the market leaders is a strong company, and we're going to have to keep at it.
You guys have said that while you're not interested in buying all of Yahoo, you would be open to some sort of a search deal. How likely do you think that is?
No way to handicap it. I think at this stage, it's probably fair to say I'm not even sure Yahoo would handicap it. They're out doing a search for a new CEO, and we'll just have to wait and see where all that shakes out.
You said a little while ago that there weren't any active discussions. Is that still the case?
Yeah, I think it's probably fair for us not to comment too much.
We've talked about Google, we've talked about the economy. Which actually occupies more of your time in terms of which do you spend your time worrying about?
Well, I'd say for the last, in general, the answer is Google, 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 Google. Now, the truth of the matter is, for a period of time, of a couple of months, we do have to go through and say, okay, what do we really think this economic thing is? How is it a year thing, or is it a reset, and then we build from a new base? And how do we parse and act on the consequences? So there's a little bubble period in here where I'd say I'm spending a little bit more time. But in general, I can't control the economy. We can drive and control and affect our competitive position. So the lion's share of my energy would be there.
Microsoft in the past has been able to get through even some, typical economic downturns by kind of trimming at the edges. You haven't had broad-scale layoffs as a company. You guys have been fortunate based on your business and its relative resistance to economic downturns to kind of navigate through those without it. Is it fair to say that whatever you guys have to do, it'll be more significant than anything you've had to do before?
It's premature to comment. I mean, the fact of the matter is, this is not a downturn. This is a bit of a reset. Those are quite different, and we're trying to really suss through what we think that means for us.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Ian.